Hey, this is Double R. And I wanted to tell you that Anchor by Spotify is a great and easy way to make a podcast with everything you need and all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record, edit your podcast straight from your phone or your computer. When hosting with Anchor, you can distribute your podcast to all listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Best of all, it's totally free. So go down the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. This is the Let's Roll Podcast with your host, Double R. What up, everybody? It's your host, the Rose the Most, and this is the Let's Roll Podcast. So today's episode, we're going to talk about when it is okay to ask someone that is disabled if you can help them, how you should go about doing it, and much more. And we're going to do that right after this. So let's talk about asking someone that's disabled if you can help them, how to do it. And this is based on my own opinion and my own experiences. Some people might agree with this, some people might not agree with this. But for the most part, I always felt like when I was out shopping and it seemed like when I needed help, it was really hard to find someone to help me. But when I didn't need it, they were there and asked, and I'm like, no, I don't need your help, I'm fine. But there's, for people that see somebody that they feel like needs help, but they don't want to offend the person. It's I'm going to put it plain and simple. There's not always a right or wrong way to ask somebody to help, if you can help them. Some people with disabilities will get offended by the way you asked or the tone you ask or whatever. I look at it this way. If you feel like I need help, then just ask me, hey, do you need help? And, 9 times out of 10, I'll either say yes, I do, or no, I don't. I mean, it's a simple thing. Now, that's one way of looking at it, like you want to help someone, but you're afraid to ask, and you're afraid to you don't want to just assume they need help and just take it upon yourself to help them. For me, most of the time, I'm pretty open to people that if they want to help me, can help me. I don't always say no, but if it's something that I can really do and I'm able to do and I don't really need assistance, then I'm good. I'll be like, yeah, no, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. But there are times that I see people kind of looking, and I know they want to come up. I know they want to say something. I know they want to ask if I need help, and they're too afraid. I just say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask anybody with a disability or not a disability if you can help them. It's always nice to be able to ask somebody, can I help you? And, be cordial and polite and respectful and just ask if you can help. Now, there are some other things that go along with asking someone if you can help them that has a disability, but there's other things that I want to bring up when it comes to assisting someone with a disability. One of them is, what is the right way of opening a door to like a store? If they don't have automatic doors or the little button that we can push that opens the door for us, a lot of times we need someone to help us get in. So they either need to come from the inside of the store out and open the door and let us in, or if they're coming in with us, then I'll either ask or they'll ask, can I help you get the door? And I'll say yes. But here's the thing. Some people do it the wrong way. And I'm not talking about asking necessarily. I'm talking about the way they open the door. Now, if you can picture this, picture that there's double doors, and they both open out the same way. One opens to the right, one opens to the left. Now, if I'm on the side of the right door, don't open the right door to let me in. Open the left door to let me in. Because most of the time, if you're going to open that right door, not only are you in the way, but it's causing me to go around you and the door. So it is better if it's possible. Not every time it's possible to do this, but if there's two doors and one's on the right, one's on the left, and depending on which side the person that is in a wheelchair or disabled is, open the opposite door. So if I'm on the right side, you open the left side. If I'm on the left side, you open the right side. And step out of the way. Don't do this whole open the door and reach your arm and have me or have whoever, especially if they're in a wheelchair, go underneath your arm. Like the door, you're holding the door open out with your arm, and you're standing where I basically have to go underneath your arm or between your body and the door. Don't do that either, because you're just asking for me to run over your foot, for that matter. Be on the side of the door, pull the door open, and step back, like to the side of the door, and give people in wheelchairs plenty of room to go through the door. And the same thing on the other side. Some people like to open the door, and they're using their whole body to hold the door open, and the doorway is not necessarily wide enough for me to go through it with you standing in front of the door to hold it open. Step out. Get to the side of the door as far as like you're not in the doorway path. So that would make it easier to get in and for me to get in. So that's one thing to do. I wish store employees would be more proactive when we're inside shopping. And obviously, we can only carry so much. Now, I do this, but I wish store employees would be a little bit more proactive. They see me rolling around the store, and I'm piling whatever I can in my lap, on my footrest, etc. I wish they would come up and say, "Hey, do you want me to take and gather this stuff up and take it up to the front, and we'll keep it, by the counter or the register, and when you're ready, just bring whatever you got, if you're getting more, whatever, and we'll have it all up there for you so you don't have to, roll around with it." Now, occasionally I might get a store employee that asks me that, but most of the time I just ask them, "Hey, do you care if I leave this right here? I'm wanting to do some more shopping, but I can't carry all this." And most of the time, they're cool. They're fine. I mean, they let me do it. I said this in my self-serve episode. I wish like bigger chains like Home Depot, Walmart, Target, bigger stores like that just had like 2 or 3 employees, and all their job is to assist people with disabilities or the elderly that need help going around and getting the stuff they need in the store. Kind of like a shopper. Someone that can shop for you, but not necessarily, going online and ordering and having delivered. Like, sometimes I want to go to the store. I want to see the physical products, and I want to touch them and see them. But I might be getting a lot of stuff that day, and I can't carry it all. And and a lot of times I can't reach it either. So I wish there was a way that they would advertise saying, "Hey, if you need help, please ask, and we'll get somebody to go around with you." I have done that, but sometimes they don't have enough staff to do it, or it takes forever to get somebody to come help. And as much as I like the fact that I can order anything from Amazon or Walmart or pretty much anywhere and have it delivered, it's great. And sometimes there are days that I don't want to get out and go do anything. But there are other times that I want to go out and I want to shop and I want to be as independent as possible. And I need assistance out in the real world sometimes. And I wish there was just more proactive people in these stores that would see someone like me and not be afraid to come up and say, hey, is there anything we can do to help you today? You know, or just say, if you need help shopping, let us know and we'll be more than happy to go around and help you shop. That would be great. Um, and that would also, allow the people who are not going to be working to make checkouts because they're trying to go to all self checkout. That would free up some of the employees to be able to be shoppers like that, to assist people in shopping, and I think that would be an absolute great deal. Um, but I don't think anybody should be afraid to ask somebody with a disability if they can assist them. If you see somebody struggling with something, and I'm going to use my ex-wife for example. She was legally blind, so when she would be shopping and she'd go to checkout, she would have to look at the, credit card machine thing where you put your credit card in and punch in your numbers and all that. She would have to look at that really, real close, like literally her face, like touching it, so she could see good enough to see what it's saying. Well, several times the cashier person or the store employee would make a somewhat of a negative comment or sarcastic comment about her vision, or why don't you get some glasses or something like that. And it's unfortunate that there are people out there that do that. But obviously, if somebody's looking at something really close, they have a problem. And instead of making fun of them or making a sarcastic comment, why not just ask, hey, do you need some assistance? And then that opens up the person to be able to say, yes, I do, or no, I got it, or whatever. My good friend that has been on the podcast a couple of times, Paula, she has the same thing I have. She's in a wheelchair just like I am, but she's a lot shorter. And even her being, and even with her in the chair, she sits lower than even I do. But I still struggle to reach credit card things, see the credit card machine, because I'm not high enough or whatever. Now, both me and Paula have a chair that will raise us up, but it takes time for it to do that. And sometimes I feel not necessarily uncomfortable, but like I'm a burden on the other people in line because I'm sitting here raising my wheelchair up so I can see something, and it takes a few minutes for it to raise up, and then I see what I got to do and check out, and then I have to lower it back down, and that takes a few minutes. So instead of me raising it up a lot of times, I will ask the cashier or whoever's checking me out to help me, tell me what it says on the screen. Um, but I was with Paula one day and we were at Dollar Tree, and the employee was just not uh like paying attention or didn't have a care in the world, and could see that Paula was kind of struggling to do the credit card thing and didn't even ask if she could help her. Can I assist you in doing that? And I think for those that are listening that are store employees or just general employees in retail and restaurants and all that, if you see someone struggling or you think they're struggling, then politely just say, is there something I can assist you with, or do you need help? Some people might still get offended, but others will be like, yeah, sure, help me, or no, I got it. Yeah, it's a little difficult, but I got it. It just, I think a lot of people are too afraid and too concerned about saying the wrong thing to someone with a disability or an elderly person or someone in need of help. They don't want to come off as being disrespectful or just kind of scared in general to say anything or do anything. But I mean, I've had several people, you know, when I'm out doing whatever, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, oh yeah, or no, I got it, no big deal. Most of the time, when they do ask me, very rarely do I actually need their help at that particular moment. Because sometimes I'm just looking around and they're like, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, oh no, I'm just going down looking around. But at least they have not acknowledged that I needed help. They asked if I needed help. And then even if I turn them down, at least I know I could go back to them, find them and say, hey, by the way, I do need some help, and then ask for their help. But don't ever be scared or unsure if you should ask her for help or not, because you should. You can meet a lot of people that way. You can get to know someone that way by just asking if they need help. And going back to the door thing, keep it in mind. Try to be out of the way of helping that person that's coming in the door in the door in a wheelchair or some kind of medical device or something like that that needs room, that needs you to be there to hold the door open. Don't be in the way of that. It's be mindful of the way you're opening the door. What room are you giving that person? Are you opening the door to where it in some sense it's blocking them to even get around you and the door to go in? Is there another door that could be opened that doesn't make it hard for them to get in? Just kind of think about when you're opening the door and which way you're opening it. That's all I'm kind of saying. Self checkout. If you work in a self checkout area monitoring what people are checking out, and someone like me in a wheelchair rolls up, don't hesitate to say, hey, do you need help checking out? Because even though it's self checkout and most people can do it on their own, someone like me, being very short in a wheelchair, will still struggle to do self checkout because it's still, my arms are not that long. I can't get close enough to it. There's certain things that I'm able to do or not able to do depending on, the way it's set up. So if people are over there kind of monitoring those systems and see someone like me come along, then be willing to say, hey, you need help. Can I help you check out? And I haven't had too much problem in that area because most of the time I will ask them before they can even have a chance to ask me. But I'm just giving this advice out to people that work and see people like me come in and giving them advice about how to ask somebody what to do, when to do it, how to do it. I mean, I know I kind of repeated myself several times here, but in general, number one rule is don't be afraid to ask someone in need if you can help them. Be respectful about it. Don't joke and kid when you see somebody doing something out of the ordinary and you want to make fun of it because you think, oh, it's funny to say, don't you need glasses or something. Don't be dumb like that. That's right. I said don't be dumb or stupid or just ignorant. Educate yourself. If that person is doing something that looks kind of not right by your standard or by what you've been around, then you might want to ask them, hey, do you need any help with that? Is there are you struggling with seeing that or reaching that or whatever it might be? But to sit there and make fun of it and give a little sarcastic little response to it is uncalled for, and I don't appreciate when people do that. There's reasons that people might be doing something that looks weird to you, but is normal to them. But that being said, this episode was just all about being respectful, asking people when they need help, if they need help. Big thing is, again, I'll go back to the door thing because the door thing does bother me a lot because people are always opening the door the wrong way and they're trying to be fast and quick and helpful, but they're not being mindful of the way they're doing it. And that was just my little suggestion on about how to open a door and where to be and not be in that. So I hope you enjoyed this little episode of the Let's Roll podcast. And remember, be mindful, be respectful, and ask people if they need help. And with that being said, make sure you check out the Let'sRollPodcast.com. And as always, until next time, let's roll.
Hey, this is Paula, and you're listening to the Let's Roll podcast with host Double R. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media. Find links in the description below or at theletsrollpodcast.com.